Okay, in this lesson, we are going to review how to add and subtract these different sign numbers. Okay, so to start off, we're going to do addition. We're not going to spend any time or go through any examples adding two positive numbers. All right, so these examples will have us either adding two negative numbers or adding a negative number and a positive number. All right, so example number 1 has us adding two negative numbers, right? -8 plus -6. Recall back in junior high when you add two negatives that your answer is going to be negative. So let's go ahead and put that in there. All right, now to get the number part of your answer, now that we have the sign figured out, the number part of your answer is simply you adding the two numbers together. So 8 plus 6 is 14. So our final answer here is -14. One more time, number 2, we got a -7 plus a -4. Again, we are adding two negatives. So we know our answer is gonna be negative. And to get the number part of our answer, we're gonna add 7 plus 4, which is 11. All right, so I want you to take some time to see if you can do number 3. Again, we are adding a -6 plus -7. We add those together. I got adding two negatives. Answer is going to be negative. And then when we add 6 plus 7, we get 13. Okay. All right, now we move on to the next few examples has us adding a negative plus a positive. Now, it doesn't matter which kind of number comes first. Now, you notice that our next 3 examples has a negative number coming first. But you understand, it doesn't matter which comes first, whether it be the negative number or the positive number. We should always use the approach which I'm about to remind you of. When you're adding two different sign numbers, a negative plus a positive, right? We have a -7 plus a +2. The sign of our answer is going to be the same sign as the bigger number, right? So if you're just looking at the numbers themselves, regardless of sign, 7 is bigger than 2. And because 7 is bigger than 2 and 7 is negative, that means the sign of our answer is going to be negative. Okay? All right, now to find the number part of our answer, we are going to take those same two numbers, 7 and 2, and we're going to subtract them. This is how we find the number part of our answer. So we take 7 minus 2 gives us 5, and that is going to be the number part of our answer. Okay. Number 5, we have a -2 plus a +8. All right, so -2 plus a +8. And because 8 is bigger than 2, we're going to take the sign of 8, which is positive, and that means our answer is going to be positive. Now, again, I'm not going to write a positive symbol there. So know that our answer is going to be positive because 8 is positive and 8 is bigger than 2. To find the number part of our answer, we're going to subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. So our answer here is a +6. Okay, let me give you some time here to do number 6. Okay, because 6 is bigger than 5, we're going to take the sign of that 6, which is negative, for our answer. And because we are adding a negative plus a positive number together, we're going to subtract those two numbers. So 6 minus 5 is 1. All right, so that's your examples for adding these signed numbers. All right, so now we're going to move on to subtraction, right? Finding the difference. All right, so for every one of these problems, whether you have, right, two negatives or a positive and a negative, when it comes to subtraction, we want to try to use the same approach every single time, okay? So let's remind ourselves what the approach is here with number 7. we have a positive 8 minus a negative 5. Okay, so again, reminding you guys that we're trying to do this without a calculator. Okay, so a positive 8 minus a negative 5. So the process that we want to try to follow consistently here is that when we are subtracting these signed numbers, these different signed numbers, we want to change the subtraction to addition. And then we want to make the second number sign opposite, because it's a negative 5. The opposite of that is positive 5. All right? So again, the approach we want to take is that when we are subtracting, we want to add the opposite. Now, when we make those changes, we're going to reassess what we have now. We have a positive 8, and now we're adding a positive 5. So basically, we're adding 8 plus 5. We can do that very easily. Right? 13. Number 8. So again, we are subtracting. So when we do the subtraction here with these signed numbers, we're going to change the subtraction to addition. And we want the second number to be the opposite. The second number is a negative 8. The opposite of negative 8 is positive 8. Okay. So now we reassess. We have 5 plus positive 8, or 5 plus 8, which again is 13. All right, take a look at number 9. We have a negative 2 minus a negative 8. Again, the process that we want to follow consistently is we want to change that subtraction to addition. And we want the second number to be the opposite. The second number is a negative 8. We're going to change that to a positive 8. So now we have negative 2 plus a positive 8. All right, so I'm going to kind of write that again down here. Okay, so this is what we're looking at now, right? Once we make those changes with the different signs and the symbols, all right, this is what we're now looking to evaluate. Now, if you look at it, it has us now adding a negative plus a positive. So we are going to refer back to what we did in the first part of this note sheet. It's like, hey, when we add different signed numbers, we are going to take the sign of the bigger number. Right? 8 is bigger. It's positive, so our final answer is going to be positive. And to find the number part of our answer, we're going to subtract. Okay, and because these are different signed numbers, we're going to subtract here 8 minus 2, which is 6. Okay, number 10, got a negative 8 minus a positive 3. Again, this is a subtraction problem. So we're taking negative 8 minus a positive 3. So we're going to change that subtraction to an addition. So I'm going to rewrite it here. So negative 8, going to keep the same. Going to change that minus to a plus. Right? Again, the rule is, right, we're going to change that subtraction to an addition, and we want the second number to change the sign to the opposite. The second number is a positive 3, so we're going to change that to a negative 3. Okay? So now we reassess. It's a negative plus a negative. That makes our answer negative. And to find the number part of our answer, we're simply going to add. Negative 11 is our final answer. All right, so let me give you some time here to work on number 11 and number 12. Okay, so let's take a look how you did. So here we have a positive 1 minus a negative 7. So again, we're going to keep the 1 exactly as is. We're going to change the subtraction to an addition. And we want the second number to be the opposite. The opposite of negative 7 is a positive 7. All right, we take a breath. We reassess and see it's 1 plus 7. You can do that. That's 8. Negative 8 minus a negative 6. Okay, so again, it's subtraction, so we need to make some adjustments. So we'll keep the first number exactly as is. The minus changes to a plus, and we want the second number to be the opposite. Opposite of -6 is a +6. Take a breath, reassess, a negative plus a positive. Okay, so then the rule is we take the sign of the bigger number. 8 is bigger than 6, and 8 is negative, so our answer is going to be negative. Because we are adding two different sign numbers, we're going to subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. All right, so that's the end of this lesson. Go ahead and transition into the homework. If you have any questions, please let me know.